I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while, but I thought it might have been a little bit too presumptuous of me to try and say that I know who Donald Trump is on a personal level or something, but I keep seeing people talking about Trump. They don't really know anything about him. They take what he says at face value even, and it's kind of weird that people don't even try to understand Trump, given it's difficult to understand him because he's certainly not normal, but it's led to this mythical MAGA civil war that people are talking about. The thing is, people have been saying MAGA civil war for at least half a year now. Every single time there's some tiny little friction, it's a civil war. Though this time maybe a little bit bigger than most, but again, people don't understand how Trump operates, how someone like Trump operates. So in this message that Trump put out, he threw Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones under the bus, is how it looks from someone like Carl Benjamin's point of view. This is Carl Benjamin, or Sargon of Akkad, you may know him as. I think he founded the Lotus Eaters, or he's at least part of it, but I'm pretty sure he founded it. He's not happy that Trump called them losers. He also called them nut jobs, troublemakers, etc. And I think very pointedly said they will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now, I like Carl, and I watch his stuff a lot. I watch the Lotus Eaters a lot, but I don't really agree with his definition of being a winner here. And I think I understand Carl, and that's the point of this video. People don't understand Trump. And to understand Trump, you need to understand why Trump says things, to understand what his words mean. Now, I think I understand Carl's words. I think they're pretty easy to understand, and that's why I'm using him as a point of contention to argue here. It seems to me like Carl is sort of upset at Trump, not just because of the Iran war and stuff, but I think he views himself as Tucker Carlson or Megyn Kelly or Candace Owens or Alex Jones. He views himself as the podcaster being betrayed by his leader. Maybe that's happened to him in the past, maybe with Nigel Farage or something. Maybe he feels that for Keir Starmer or Boris or whoever. Maybe he's just projecting himself, or maybe I'm totally wrong. But that's my point, is you have to understand why someone's saying something in order to just really understand like the meaning behind it. And people take everything Trump says at face value. People don't care about what Trump really means. So I'm just going to play a little bit of Carl here.
Like, I've been a Trump supporter this whole time for America because I thought Trump represented a nativist movement in America. And I think that's what everyone else thought. And that's what we're seeing is not the case now. Trump has become a neocon mouthpiece, a Zionist mouthpiece. He is leading an Israeli war. And, okay, well, don't be surprised when the people who you essentially sold yourself as a nativist candidate, and, I mean, I don't know whether anyone remembers, but his rhetoric was very much, no new wars, I didn't start any wars, I finished those wars, I'm a peacemaker. He was going around just a couple of months ago going, yeah, I ended 8 wars. I don't even know what wars they were, but I was like, yeah, why not? Like, who cares? Let's say he did, you know? What difference does it make? I mean, like, I don't know what wars they were. It wasn't interesting. There was no need to look it up as far as I was concerned. But, you know, who knows? But that was what he was bragging about. I really didn't know. Like, I saw him say it, I was just like, yeah, okay. I don't know. I didn't have time to look into it. But anyway, that's the rhetoric he was using, right? Whether it's true or not, that's the rhetoric he was using. And so suddenly he's like, oh my God, everyone doesn't want to go on Israel's war against Iran with me. It's like, well, you built your coalition by saying no new wars. That was one of the key pillars of your coalition. And now you're turning on those people who've got millions and millions and millions of followers combined, by the way. I mean, God only knows how many tens of millions of followers these people have. And he says, yeah, they've been fighting me for years. Well, nobody thinks that. Especially by the fact they think it's wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. I don't think they think that either. And only like a month or two ago, well, probably about 3 months ago now, maybe 5 months ago, whenever he dropped the bunker buster, you were telling everyone that time just blends to me. Time is just, every day is just stop the kids from destroying things. Anyway, you dropped the bunker buster and said, right, that's it. Iran's nuclear program destroyed forever. So maybe they were just taking you at your word. But anyway, they have one thing in common, low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. Look, man, you can have any criticism you want of Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones, but they're not stupid, right? They're actually not morons. They're actually really successful, and they are all quite good commentators in their own right, if that's the sort of thing that you're into. Like, I don't know why he's decided. I mean, I do know. It's because I think it's because his popularity is slipping, because he's decided to go all in for Israel.
I know there's a bit of a long clip, but it can give you some insight into how, I mean, he's specifically telling you right then and there and before as well, how he thinks Trump is thinking, which is very different from how I think Trump is thinking. And it also shows how Carl is reacting to this, where he's defending these people. I mean, are they high IQ people? Here's Megyn Kelly's channel. I don't really watch her. I never really watched her, but you can see that it's basically like fake Christian grifting is what it comes off as. It's mostly just like hyper pretentious sort of stuff. A Sydney Sweeney dressed up as Baby in disgusting scene from Euphoria. And then if you go to Megyn Kelly's video of this, you can see that she did not censor it at all. And that's odd, isn't it? She's just put Sydney Sweeney there. I mean, I'm censoring it, but Megyn Kelly, pretend Christian, has put Sydney Sweeney in her panties, spreading her legs with what appears to be a sheer top that, I mean, looks like I can see her nipples, sucking a pacifier. This is disgusting to her. But hang on, she's got another picture on her channel, which, I mean, on this exact video of Sydney Sweeney being disgusting. And there's another one. Oh my God. Well, how is it that you're so disgusted by this and you're going to blast it on YouTube, a allegedly safer work website, on your channel with 4.2 million subscribers? You're not censoring this. You're not disgusted by it. You're a liar. It's as simple as that. But Carl is defending her. He thinks she's high IQ. I think it's just like what Trump says. She's a nut job, a troublemaker, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. But here's another clip of him. This is from the Lotus Eaters stream, or podcast, episode, whatever.
Yep. What I think that what you've revealed with all of this is that MAGA itself as a movement has been subverted.
Yes.
It has been redirected, that the nativist energy has been redirected to ends that are not beneficial to the American people. Right? And that begins with like the make America Healthy Again. Well, that's not happening anymore. And unfortunately, RFK Jr. has become a podcast bro. Now, you know, RFK Jr. was a bit of an ex-Democrat, so he's got lots of opinions that are quite lefty. But overall, I really liked him, and I thought he was a really serious guy who had, you know, thought about this a lot. And so for him to be like, well, I'm going to do a podcast, terrible, right? And then you get to the other side where Trump is turning on his podcasters. These are the stormtroopers.
These are the people who got him elected. And so now to say, oh no, all of these people are bad. It's like, okay, who are you doing this for?
And that's the question. He's doing it for himself. But who are the podcasters doing things for? Are they doing it for the sake of America? I mean, you think they're doing it for America because you're projecting. Again, this is me assuming that I know why Carl's saying these things. That's the point of this video. You can only understand what they're saying, or you can only understand what they mean if you understand why they're saying the words. Like, I know that sounds like kind of silly, but you have to understand their history, the reason why they're saying it. I think Carl is seeing himself as them. And from his point of view, maybe they really are trying to save America. From Trump's point of view, they're just rats saying whatever they can. So maybe Carl's wrong, though. Maybe Trump's right. Here's Tucker Carlson posting on Trump's AI video. His AI Jesus picture.
On the right is the one the president sent out, White House Communications Office or whoever does this, sent out, and you'll notice that it's been changed, and the American soldier over the president's head, the president as Jesus' head, has been changed and is now, if you look very carefully, a demon.
A demon? How is that a demon? Wings and what looks like a radiant crown, which even the Statue of Liberty has? I mean, there's some proportion issues going on there, but how is that a demon?
Kind of winged creature of hell. So it goes from an image that suggests, healing and light to an image that suggests, I don't know, a scene from Revelation, John's vision on the Isle of Patmos, the end times, the apocalypse, who knows? Nothing good.
Nothing good? Well, you just said you don't know, and then you gave all of those fake examples to lead your flock by. Tucker Carlson seems to think of himself as some sort of prophet now, some shepherd leading his branch of Christianity to a better and brighter future. I happen to notice, if you scroll down through his comments, I read a lot of comments on videos where there's not much to look at. Scroll down through his comments right here. There is anytime you see a profile picture on YouTube of a provocative woman, you can bet your ass that it's R18 content. And yes, that is a bot. Click on that and you will see a penis going into a vagina. In fact, you'll see two different ones. Funnily enough, if you go to Asmongold's video about on the same day uploaded about Vitaly or whatever that stupid guy's name is, and oh look, it's the exact same bot. And oh look, another bot with the same profile picture, and if you click on it and go to their YouTube channel, you will see penises going into vaginas just like in the other ones. 1.1 thousand upvotes, being at the top of the list of this video. This is the path. It's Disney. Yep, it's Disney. Not too surprising, I suppose, considering that in Deadpool they had a topless stripper in a thong, which is objectively R18, made by Disney. But you would think that these Christian right-wingers, like Tucker Carlson, for instance, all of them, really, you would think that they would be a little bit more concerned with the fact that in the comment section of their YouTube channel, it would have R18 links in it. Then again, they are posting on YouTube, which is, well, I mean, it's not much different than OnlyFans, is it? Again, if you were to look at all these comments, it is a bunch of religious fanatics. Hold on there, Past Merc. I've got something to say real quick. So I'm here editing the video right before I upload it, and I thought, you know what, no one's going to stop and look at these comments, so I just wanted to read one for you. I was in tears listening to the Father speak and preach. What a wonderful man and message. Father spelled with a capital F. That's like something written right out of the game Outlast. I mean, Tucker Carlson is leading a doom cult focused on the biblical apocalypse, the end times, and things like that. You can clearly see in how people respond to him, how they talk to him. He is their God. Like, the things Tucker Carlson says is the word of God, not because he's preaching the word of God, but because these people worship him, just like they worship Candace Owens. They don't worship God. They worship the podcaster. And that's a big issue to me. So if Tucker Carlson really does believe in all this religious stuff, then you can say he's a nut job. And Carl Benjamin, you're an atheist, I believe. So that would align with you. And then on the other hand, if Tucker Carlson is high IQ and he is just manipulating all of these people with lies about religion, then that means that he really is just saying anything for the sake of attention and money. So either way, Trump's correct, right? And either way, this looks really unhealthy. Just my personal opinion. So I'm going to have to side with Trump on this. I think Tucker Carlson, he really is either a nut job or he will just say anything for money. One of the two. Anyway, going back to Past Merc and the continuation of the video, who think that they are going to go to heaven in the near future. And going back to Carl, he keeps talking about this Israeli brainworm thing. Like, he seems to very much believe that the Israelis really are controlling Trump. I don't think he actually believes there's some sort of magic or anything behind it, but he's just like Carlson on this, where he's completely dedicated to the belief that Israel is controlling Trump. And I don't really know why they would think that, and I guess that's just because of how I presume Trump to be.
If you've lost your hardcore supporters and you started attacking them, just openly attacking them, trying to destroy them, calling them losers, like you can call Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones a lot of things. And everyone does all the time. It's the internet. People are not very forgiving on these subjects. But losers is actually not one of those.
You are not only unraveling Charlie's death, but you are also unraveling the whole system. Stay safe, please. I mean, we have to all wake up to it. I'm just so sick of it. I'm so sick of the same story. I'm sick of the same demons that are the occultists that are running the world and making us think that it's either communism or crony capitalism. And what she said is true. They went in there, they took all of Romania's natural resources, and they divided it up. And they steal it from themselves, and then they sell it to us and say, you can work for a living and maybe one day own a piece of what we have stolen. That's how it works. That's what we're speaking about when we talk about the globalists that are in power, who also happen to be into kids.
That's not what most people are talking about, actually. That's what the people who are deep in conspiracy theories think. No one's really out there thinking that there are a bunch of global elites committing some cannibalistic rituals to Satan or anything like that. It's also bizarre that you're getting millions of views per stream and acting like you're not part of this.
Yeah. I don't like space programs on the basis of all of the research I have done.
Weird segue.
Also remind you guys that tomorrow we have book club. We also have merch available on the website. If you'd like to join the book club, it is not too late. I normally have the book sitting right here. I do not, but we're reading Nicholas Hager. Why do I never remember book titles? It's actually really weird. Like, why can't I remember? Yeah, but isn't that kind of weird, Skylar, that I can never remember it? Like, it's
so weird how you can't remember the books in your book club. It's more weird that you get millions of views on each of your streams, and yet you have ghetto written all over your merchandise. Yes, Candace Owens isn't a loser, according to Carl, even though she's got a 7-piece episodic, what even is this? I mean, each one getting 2 to 6 million views, where she is created some sort of bizarre fiction of Charlie Kirk's wife. I mean, I think she's diving into whether or not this lady is evil or something. I mean, God, she probably thinks she's a space alien based off of much of the other stuff I've heard her say. Like, she's another person who is leading her flock. All of these people seem to be fanatics leading their flocks into a better and brighter future that only they can lead them into. And meanwhile, Carl seems to think that it's all some sort of like pro-America, nativist, possibly nationalist sort of movement to fix the country. That is not what it is.
Insults that sticks. Because they're all wildly successful.
Yes, they are wildly successful. Carl seems to think that being a winner is being successful and famous and rich, I guess. That's the opposite of a loser to him. But then that creates like a hierarchy, doesn't it? So Trump is at the top of that hierarchy, right? He's more rich and more famous and more successful than all of them, which means, according to this hierarchy, they are losers by Trump's perspective. And even from an abstract perspective, these are people who helped Trump get that power, and then Trump attacked them, and they lost in that regard, didn't they? Like, Trump got power, they didn't. So even then, they're still losers. And if you're just talking about success, fame, and fortune, well, Sophie Rain made $11 million in a year by stripping. I don't think Carl would be happy if his wife did that, but according to his definition, success is money and fame. So, I mean, I know he has kids. I don't know if he has a daughter. Lil Tay said that she became a millionaire on her 18th birthday. And I'm sure you can guess how that happened. Would he be happy if his daughter did that? Probably not. Again, I'm going to say it again. This is how I'm assuming Carl means these things. And this is why it's important to think about the perspective people have and why they think about things and the history they have. Carl's been in politics for quite a while. He feels like he's been betrayed. I think he's projecting himself as these American podcasters, and he feels like, well, they're betrayed, and that's like me being betrayed, and kind of like a feeling like that. And I know, like, Trump's done a lot of harm for other countries insofar as like the Iran war, like their petrol prices are spiking and stuff like that. I know it's causing problems everywhere, and there's a lot of anger that they're having towards Trump for that as well. It's not just the words he's using and such, but it's the fact that I think he's projecting himself, and yeah, I think he sees himself as them more than anything, and that's where I think Carl's coming from, and that's why I want to use Carl as an example, because, like, again, you have to understand why someone is saying something to understand what they mean and what they want. And so from that, well, I guess there is one more thing.
Oh, yeah, right. We're in contact with aliens.
Like what kind of shit?
Here's what's happening, because it's not just one group of aliens.
What's the different groups?
The big five.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Let me begin. This is really, I'm telling you, Joe, this is a real deal.
We're listening to you.
Well, first off, elves is the main group.
Okay.
And they call them the elves. It's clockwork elves.
I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
There are bad things that look like elves that have horns when they show you who they really are.
Damn.
They're bad aliens.
I'm with you.
AI is alien.
Like a robot?
Yeah, they're like robots coming to kill you.
Jesus Christ.
The chimeras are alien.
And there's a hive mind sort of thinking to a lot of this.
They want the organs. I swear on my kids I told you the truth about that.
I believe you.
I believe you.
They're coming after everybody.
Jeez.
It's a breakaway civilization, dude. We don't know what they've got. Joe, they're control freaks.
Well,
You're not
everybody's a
That's why I'm
control
so glad
freak.
you're in the fight now. These guys are on stuff that like nobody even knows.
What do you think they're on?
Stuff they've been given.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
You know, there's like armed guys with machine guns.
That is a group of people that were obsessed with combat.
About the most fearless killers there are.
Do you think that's from their heritage of war?
I mean, it's just like, it's mental illness, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Right. Well, there's a lot you could say about Alex Jones. Joe Rogan just kind of catching some strays there unintentionally. He wasn't on the list, but it was a funny clip, so I just wanted to include that. So the thing is that I'm all trying to say here, like, this isn't some sort of hit piece about Carl, in case anyone's got that mistake in their mind. I like Carl. I enjoy watching Carl and the Lotus Eaters in general. The algorithm led me to them. I think I was watching Leaflet react to them, or maybe it was Asmongold, or maybe it was Leaflet reacting to Asmongold, reacting to Carl. I who can even keep track of this crap anymore? But I like them. I like watching all of them. This is just like, it was a perfect, I've been wanting, like I said before, I wanted to make this video, and this was a perfect way to kind of like bind these things together. At least I thought so anyway, because I feel like I understand where Carl's coming from. He's mad at Trump for the things Trump's done from Iran. He wants to believe in Trump because of Trump doing a lot of things that Carl wants to happen in the UK especially. He kind of feels betrayed by that, because Trump's not necessarily doing exactly what he said he was going to do, or not doing it as well as he said he was going to do. And probably also, like, he probably has some like internalized anger towards Trump in general, but in the game of politics, you have to bite your tongue sometimes, because if he were to be too angry at Trump over certain things, then it would reflect poorly against Carl, because he agrees with Trump in a lot of ways. So you have to kind of pick and choose your battles, and then at a certain point, you sort of lash out about things in the past that you were previously silent on. So I think that I understand where he's coming from with this. I think, anyway. I could be wrong. And I think that he's wrong about Trump. Like I said, he thinks that Trump was some sort of nativist movement in favor of Make America Great Again, America First, whatever. Like, I don't agree. I don't think that's where Trump is coming from. And I would like to, again, talk about someone separate from Trump as an example, because this isn't someone you know. It's a friend of mine, or an ex-friend of mine anyway. And he is very much like Trump. So I think the best way to explain Trump is to compare him to this person. Simply put, he's a narcissistic egomaniac, just like Trump. The first example I'd give is a Christmas party. He brought his girlfriend, and at this Christmas party, at the dinner table, surrounded by friends and family, he decided to tell the story of the time when we were kids. And it was like, I don't know, we were like 9 and 7 or 10 and 8 or something like that. And he explained the story of how I slapped him, and then he punched me and gave me a black eye. The reality is the inverse of that, however. I hit him and apparently gave him a black eye, though it was too young for me to even remember. I don't remember it even happening, but I do remember getting in trouble for it. So that's what I remember, and then he told the story so that he could seem better, to try and humiliate me, to try and elevate himself above me, to try and seem like the best person in the room, to try and impress his girlfriend and the rest of the family. That's why he told the story. There's another story from a game we were playing, an MMORPG. It's an older one, ones where you have to actually have people to play with, and you can't just do everything on your own. So he needed help doing something, and he already had probably like 12 people helping him do it. And then I got on, and he asked me to come help, so I came and helped. I mean, that's just what you do with him. And even if he doesn't need it, he'll still ask you for help even if he doesn't need it, and you still come and help him. That's how it works, honestly. So we got there. I got there, rather, and very shortly after I got there, the thing he needed dropped off of the enemy. It takes like hours to get anything in these old games. And so as soon as he got it, everyone left. But one guy was AFK, and I'm thinking, like, well, this guy's not even at the keyboard. Like, shouldn't we wait for him? But everyone just left. And so that guy's definitely just dead. Like, he's going to be killed by some NPCs or whatever. And he in this old game, you lose XP, so he's probably lost, like, a good hour of his life that he'll have to spend getting that XP back, all because we just ditched him. And it's like, well, they were there to help you in the first place. Why did you just ditch them? That's the way I was thinking about it. It's not the way my friend thought about it. Another example, another old game that we were playing, he had a friend that he met, and then the friend I ended up meeting. Very common, right, to meet your friend's friends. And the friend ended up liking me, and we ended up hanging out a lot. And then one day we got in this huge fight. Sorry, me and my other friend, my real life friend, we got in this huge fight. And he's accusing me of stealing his friend on the game. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Stealing your friend? Like he was so mad that his friend was hanging out with me. I guess he thought that his friend liked me more than him. He could not stand it. He was infuriated by this. And we got in this massive fight over it. I don't remember how it went or anything. I just remember that it happened. Now, as another example of another old game, all these are different games as well, where he helped me do something, and then I helped. I mean, this is a constant back and forth with us. We help each other all the time. And I then took a break from the game for, like, I don't know, like 6 months or a year or something. And when I came back, he had stripped everything off of my account, took everything from me without even asking, just everything gone. And I'm like, what the hell? And then he sends me a message. He was online. He sent me a message. He's like, oh, hey, man, what's up? I'm like, oh, hey, only person who has access to my account. What's up? And also, where's all my stuff? And then he just gives me some stuff back. He just starts giving me some stuff to sell, gives me some money to help buy some stuff. This is just how his brain operates. I wasn't playing, therefore he takes all of my stuff. Then I come back, no problem. He just gives me some stuff to sell. That's how his brain works. It's crazy. But the craziest thing yet, another totally different old MMORPG. I went to this game, I went back to it. We had both played it a long time ago. I go back to it. I play it by myself. I get max level. I build up my character, get max level. I do all these quest lines. It takes me like weeks and weeks to do them. And then I think, you know what? I'm going to invite him to come play with me. So I call him up. I invite him to play. He comes to play. I power level him. First of all, he picks the exact same class as me. Then I power level him up. Then I help him do all of these quest lines. They were brutally slow quest lines these old games have. It took probably 2 weeks to do all of this, to power level him up and to do all this. And this was when we were younger, so we were online a lot. 2 weeks of doing this and helping him get all these quests done and get the final reward and all of that. And then probably 4 or 5 years later, maybe even longer, we were sitting there playing a different game, and he wanted me to do something. He wanted me to help him. And this is the way he operates. He wanted me to help him, so he wanted me to feel guilty. He made me feel like I owed him something. So he tells me the story that I just told you from my perspective. He told me the story of him helping me, him power leveling me, him helping me do all of those quests for like 2 weeks. He told me that story from my perspective. I was the only person in the universe, in all of existence, that knew that story. I was the only person, and he told me that story from my perspective so that I would feel like I owed him something. That's what we're talking about here when we say narcissistic egomaniac, okay? Now, you might think that makes him evil, but not really. My friend wasn't evil, but he certainly wasn't normal. It was a struggle to deal with him, but he never actively betrayed me until he felt betrayed. Similarly, he would bend over backwards to help me, but he would expect the exact same in return. Thinking back on it, I often wonder if the relationship would have been better had I just been mature enough to understand that he operated on equivalent exchange with trust as the currency. His definition of trust, anyway. No matter what scuffle we had, no matter what words were said, it was all water under the bridge the next day. Compared to some normal relationships, that's kind of enviable in a sort of way. And I think Trump is the same. He talks trash as quickly as he praises someone. He lashes out as often as he shakes hands. He's not my friend, and I could be wrong, but I sense Trump to be very similar. A thick-skinned man who desires to be the smartest, strongest, and most respected man in the room. So, were you me in these scenarios, how would you think? How would you react? It was an old relationship, and I don't have many friends, so I wanted to hang on to it. But in the end, I decided to cut him off. However, it's a bit more difficult to cut off a country for myriad reasons. Now, how do you as a foreign leader deal with Trump? How do you, as a podcaster whose livelihood relies entirely on doomer content, these people that Trump attacked, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones, how do they maintain a relationship with someone after that person has successfully won an election that everyone thought they were doomed to lose? What happens when the doom-tuber becomes the winner and their champion is the center of so much controversy, so much juicy, juicy controversy? Well, you see, the flaw that these people made when they allied themselves with Trump is they did not realize the entirety of that contract. And that contract that all of them signed, whether it's the previous presidency or this one, that relationship that they made, the podcasters, Musk, whoever they are, it's built on trust. Trump's definition of trust. And if he's like my friend, he's a good ally to have because he knows that he needs other people to help him get things done. And he'll help you too, provided you can reciprocate properly. You may be thinking, what can a small country possibly give something as big as the USA, with as much power as the USA? But you would be deeply underestimating the words narcissistic egomaniac. If you've never had such a relationship, then you cannot understand just how far respect and compliments will get you with someone like this. However, you also need to understand that he will expect you to do what he asks, and he will remember your failures and insults, especially when Trump is, unlike my friend, standing at the pinnacle of the world with precious few peers. Anyway, thank you for listening, and if you enjoyed, please do the YouTube things.